Hey there, thanks for joining me for another video from Counselor Tips. I covered in one video rolling with resistance with regards to motivational interviewing and working with clients that may have some resistance. But in this video, I'm going to give some examples to help supervisors who are trying to teach, whether they're students or provisionally licensed or fully licensed counselors, the technique of rolling with resistance in motivational interviewing. Please hang in there. It's a short video, but there will be some complaints that supervisees have made and some responses that supervisors can make to those supervisees while rolling with resistance. I know for myself, when I've tried to teach motivational interviewing to someone who already uses a different theory, sometimes I experience what's called resistance. It is when a counselor wants to keep the status quo of the theory that they're using, but clearly the theory they're using with some clients is not working, and motivational interviewing would be a better fit. I have heard complaints, blaming, interrupting, rationalizing, and you name it from supervisees. So I'm going to provide some fun examples of complaints that I've heard, which is the resistance that I got from the supervisees, and some of the fun responses I've given. So here's one of the complaints I've heard from a supervisee. I do fine with the theory I use with clients, and I do absolutely fine in building a rapport with clients. Here's a response that I've given. Now remember, when we're rolling with resistance, we want to use a reflective statement followed by an open-ended question. It sounds important for you to build rapport with clients. How can I help you get even better at it? What makes building rapport important to you? This next complaint was heard from a counselor who was actually very frustrated with the place that they were working at, and they were taking their frustration at the agency they worked for and actually transferring it to their work with clients. So I'm not going to give you the full story, but here's the one statement that they made that I knew it would be really important to use a reflective statement followed by an open-ended question, really to challenge their resistance. You know, it's not going to matter in the end anyway. My response to them was similar to this. Sounds like it's important that your work matters. How could these motivational interviewing skills help with that? Another way to respond would be by using a reflective statement that includes reflection of feeling. It seems like you're feeling a little discouraged. Another way to respond with a difficult supervisee who really feels very defeated with where they work would be this. This work is difficult and it's hard to see our effects on clients. What if using these skills could help us see our influence more clearly? So another response that I have heard from a supervisee while they were working in a facility with pretty difficult clients, people with substance use disorder, the supervisee was complaining. What do they expect from us? What do they think, we're miracle workers? My response to the supervisee was something similar to this. It sounds like you feel frustrated about being considered an outstanding substance abuse counselor. What do you see as your role as a substance abuse counselor? How do you see motivational interviewing skills impacting your role? What is it that you like about being a substance abuse counselor? We can do further probing with additional open questions like I gave in the example. Here's one that I've heard from a supervisee that came from administration, and I think it was with regards to a misunderstanding. But it does happen, and it was valid for that supervisee. The supervisee said, "What do they think, I don't care about the clients already?" I know that they did. However, this statement let me know that the supervisee was feeling rather resistant. So here's a similar response that I gave to them. It sounds like the clients are already really important to you. What matters most to you when it comes to caring about the clients? I also followed up with several other open-ended questions. What skills are most helpful when it comes to caring about the clients? And tell me what caring about clients actually means to you. So in trying to teach motivational interviewing to a supervisee while working with a very difficult client population, I got quite a bit of resistance at one time. This is common, especially with new clinicians who are trying to manage an ever-changing caseload as well as learn the ropes of the agency that they work for and the policies and procedures. The supervisee said something like, motivational interviewing is a great idea. I just don't have time to learn it. Well, that is resistant, and it is sustained talk, and it is ambivalence towards a change. So we would roll with the resistance by saying something similar to this. You recognize the value of motivational interviewing, but you're concerned about having the time to learn and use the skills well. What would make that easier? Another type of response could be something such as this. Sounds like you feel pressured about time constraints. What would it be like to master these motivational interviewing skills in a way that actually helps save time? Another way to respond to someone who doesn't want to learn motivational interviewing, who believes that they're already doing fine and complains that they don't have time to do so, would be this. I understand you're concerned about efficiency. What is your understanding of how motivational interviewing is an effective communication approach? I had a supervisee at one time complain that motivational interviewing didn't challenge clients enough to change. Here's an example of a complaint they made. I feel like motivational interviewing is all about coddling the clients and cutting them breaks. My response to the supervisee's resistance was something similar to this. Holding clients accountable is important to you. How do you think motivational interviewing is not holding clients accountable? What does accountability mean to you? What helps a client to actually become accountable? Hopefully this video can help support you supervisors when you have supervisees that are resistant. And if you're trying to teach supervisees, new counselors in training, students, whoever it is, motivational interviewing, and you find yourself with some resistance, this is a great opportunity to roll with resistance, to not be argumentative, to focus on the rapport, to use reflective statements, and follow up with open-ended questions in order to get the supervisees to move from sustained talk towards change talk. I hope you found this video to be supportive in using motivational interviewing as a supervisor. And if you believe another supervisor you know could actually benefit from this video, please consider sharing it with them. If you're learning from my videos on counselor tips, please consider subscribing to the channel and turn on the bell so you know when I have a new video. I'll see you soon.